Alright, what's up everybody? It's Lids and we're back for some more Pyre. Last time round we had a close encounter with some harps, and we also picked up a new ally, Pamitha, so I'm excited to get the chance to play with her some more, because, you know, she can, like, fly and stuff, so that's pretty awesome. Seems like she's going to be a really useful member of the team. So let's see, we have Sulphur Main, precarious path leading toward the woods. The lone minstrel cautions that the one path down the cliffs is rather treacherous, and it looks like we may have several steps before we make our way into Walkingwood here. Hey, look at the edge of the screen there. Oh, but we're stopping early. Uh-oh. The wagon has hit a snag. It looks like it hits a snag every time, and yet I guess this time it's actually for real. Descending the black crags. Its wheel is stuck. Jodariel is not pleased. First, that bastard. That blasted little bird. Now this. Though you lack Jodariel's raw strength, you join in as she attempts to dislodge the wagon. At last, with a roar and a heave, she forces the wagon back onto solid ground. May this sandalwood be worth all hassle. Thank you, Jody. I'm guessing sandalwood doesn't like to be kept waiting. He is very patient, on the contrary. Not I. Let us move on. Soon, the wagon is prepared to press onward, down the jagged slopes toward Wakingwood. Your companions, who explored that ahead, advise on which of the forked paths to take. Okay. This is what we saw coming a little bit here. We have Sir Gilman says it lands on the northern plateau over Walkingwood, pocked with seething fissures. Ew. Sir Gilman claims that he can dig up something valuable here. Versus this route where Pamitha says the lands to the east of Walkingwood are riddled with black crags. Pamitha says she can procure a talisman here. The one thing I was noticing is that now that we've gotten so many additional allies as of late, we're actually quite behind on the talismans. I mean, it's a lot of shuffling between one character to the next in order to make sure that we can at least have a talisman for each of the rights. And we certainly do not have, you know, a specific talisman, one for each person. Ruki's really the only person who has that at this point, and we are perhaps looking to accumulate several more. And so, I mean, picking up a talisman could be very nice, whereas over here, we might be able to get enough monies to buy a talisman, ultimately. This intrigues me, though, because I hope that if we are to get a random talisman here, or I guess maybe not a random talisman per se, we might actually get one that is specific and only available through going this route. You know, something that's not purchasable at the shop, in which case I'm very interested. Didn't we go that way, and yet we ended up over here? How did that work? Having gone the route Pamitha recommended, she directs you toward a particular crag, no more conspicuous than any other. They clip our wings before they cast us down, you know. But just the same, we learn to flit around a bit. Just watch. Pamitha swoops up to a nearby peak and disappears behind it. She does not keep you waiting long, and returns bearing an item of some sort. For you, reader darling. We hidewing remnants stash away such things for such occasions. Ooh. Found a fairy spirit. This doesn't look familiar, and it should come in useful. Let's see. So after Bear banishes an adversary, spawn a moondrop, which can briefly grant infinite stamina? As fairies presumably do not exist, it is likely they came to no harm in its creation. So, one thing I'm wondering is, I mean, obviously infinite stamina sounds amazing. Granted, it drops an item that we pick up as we're traversing across the arena in the right. But, is this an item that either us or our opponent could pick up? Because if our opponent gets that, then that sounds pretty terrible. But no less sounds like it could be very, very good talisman. And one that is unique enough that I'm sensing there could be some interesting synergies there. If we pick someone like Pamitha, maybe, who has the ability to fly, where, you know, if she had infinite stamina with her flying ability, then she could just go wherever the heck she wants, and I would think score quite easily with it. So that is at least the first person I'm thinking of that might want to use that talisman. But anyways, having passed beyond the Black Crags, your wagon arrives at the edge of Wikingwood. It is here that Sandalwood is to be expecting you. However, I don't know, should we not have been trusting this minstrel guy all along? Is he really a con man? Most puzzling. He ought to have met us. You said he would find us himself. Aye. He was to find us at the edge of these woods. We supposed to keep waiting for him? He would desire for the stars to be your guide, as always. The rights beckon, and the rights take precedent above all else. Surely he shall find us yet. Then let's keep moving. How do we get through these woods? Lone Minstrel notes 2 possible paths forward from this point, though cautions that the woods are difficult to navigate, and Sandalwood would have known the most expedient path. Okay. That's weird that there's an unknown area seemingly right on top of us. But anyways, 2 options here. We can go to Needlefield, a small clearing east of the Glade of Lune. Lone Minstrel says his client Sandalwood studied the rites here. Okay, studied the rites, cool. And then Greymoor contains the grandest trees, all of Wakingwood. Lone Minstrel says his client Sandalwood once resided here. Studied the rites versus resided. I don't know. Studied the rites? Hard to read into that one. Not much description to go off of. Sandalwood is a master in the rites, or used to be, at least. Then, well, it is not my place to say. Doubtless, he shall tell you. Now, if only we could find him. He used to mentor his own companions in the rites, not far from here. However, you find no trace of the informant anywhere nearby, and without his guidance, you remain quite lost in the woods. The woods seem to have encroached. There's no path forward, while neither of the paths leading backward appear to match the route you took to this point. Ah, okay. So we're on a winding path all over the place, it would seem. We have the Burnt Grove, Ashen Grounds amid Wakingwood. They seems drawn to this location for some reason, versus Under Thicket. Southern pass through Wakingwood. The Impetizo seems to wish to go toward this location. I mean, it looks like we are taking just shots in the dark here, because nobody knows where we ought to go. And I don't remember if we have any particular reason to side with Tizo over Tay. Let's go with Tay. Also, where's our wagon? There it is. Alright, what do we end up with? The woods are so disorienting, and at this point, you decide to break for camp and survey the surroundings for any clues. Perhaps later, there shall be time to pursue your vocation. The Beyonder Crystal seeks Jordariel. Okay, so I like how it does give us that notification. That's good to know. So it's not like we need to be checking every single time we can stop. We will know when there are specific missions for us to do. That definitely means we ought to do that. In fact, before we sift through that area, let's give it a shot. There you are again, my lovely reader. How may I be of service? Alright, well, I mean, this is certainly priority number 1. Just name the victim, and I shall be more than pleased to make him or her suffer for a bit. We can't go back to Ruby, can we? No? Already approved. Okay, and everyone else says ineligible, whereas, as we just saw, Todariel does have the ability to go, and also, we took her talisman away and used it for someone else, so let's see what we can give her. I mean, +2 quickness is actually kind of interesting because she's so slow that it seems like giving her a flat 2 quickness might actually make quite a difference. Because I don't know if the attributes scale linearly or in some other fashion. Like, Is 2 quickness the same for Jodariel, or the same increase in speed for Jodariel as it is for Ruki, as it is for Tay, in which case Jodariel's so slow that adding a small flat amount is actually quite significant, whereas for Ruki it's kind of like, well, I mean, it's just such a small percentage increase that it doesn't make much difference. I'm not sure, but let's see. Can we figure it out? 3 meters per second? 2.4. So, like, does it give 0.6 to whoever has it? You go from 5.5 to 6.1. Yes. So it gives the same amount, regardless of who's using it, which means from a percentage basis, it does the most for Jodariel. I mean, so that was mostly for science. Are there other things that we can do? Other things that we can use that might be useful? After being banished by the adversary, the bear has a chance to return immediately. Oh, that's what we had on Jodariel before. I was gonna say, that sounds familiar, but what about the one that we just picked up? Oh, that's this, right. After the bear banishes an adversary, spawn a Moondrop, which briefly grants infinite stamina. One thing that seems a little intriguing is that this might be an opportunity to actually gain some coins where otherwise we would not be able to. So, I mean, if we were really trying to maximize the amount of monies we had, then this would actually be a really nice opportunity to do that. But I think, in the interest of trying to succeed above all else, let's go this route. So we get the infinite stamina momentarily. It'll be our first time using this talisman, so I'm, like I was saying before, not entirely sure how it works, but we'll see. You ask Sandra to administer one of her special trials for Jodariel. That surly demon, is it? She could stand to lighten up, though I fear that this is not a secret I can teach. But let us bring her forth, regardless. Soon Jodariel appears in heed of the summons. What is the meaning of this, reader? So, Jodariel is tricky, because demons such as Jodariel are slow and move in the rights. That's what I was getting at. She's very slow, which is very much against my usual style. So this might be tricky. It kind of goes up against the way I usually play, but we'll see if we can do it. What is the meaning of this, reader? Where are the others? The apparition Sandra appears and loosens her mask. Welcome to my humble home, demon. You are good at taking orders, no? State your purpose quickly, Wraith. My purpose is to put you to the test. You may be fearsome to behold. You are old and slow. Ooh, ouch. Your weaknesses perhaps outweigh your strengths, though I sorely wish to see you and your lovely reader prove me wrong. She's not going to take that well. Old, she says. Very well then, reader. Let us show her whether she is right. Oh. Oh, that was mean. That was very mean. And they waited to attack me until just after I respawned. Also very mean. Oh, that didn't hit you? Uh-oh, that's a problem. Yeah, this is gonna be really, really tricky. And again, they do the same thing. Yeah, I think I very much need to find the correct way to play with Jodariel. Well, we did score, but long way to go. Oh, what? You had it? I didn't even realize you had it. I thought I had it, if anything. Oops. Oh, and that was silly of me. That was very silly. Okay, we are not doing so well on this. Which, I mean, is probably to be anticipated, as I was kind of saying before. But, it only takes 2 scores. That was also really silly. Oh, now you're gonna score that way. You're just rubbing it in. I mean, we're learning. Sort of, maybe, possibly. Okay, now we run for it. It just takes 1 more. See what we can do. Okay, now we go for it. Come on! We did it! It was close. And in fact, I think we scored 3 times in a row to pull it off. Something close to it. But whoo, we nearly missed that one. Are you satisfied now, Wraith? I am never satisfied, Demon. However, your performance was sufficient, and you passed my test. Thus, congratulations are in order to you and your lovely leader. Now farewell. Ooh, I'm glad we got that one done. I was concerned that we were not going to be able to pull it off. That was a strange experience. What do you have there, reader? You received Solium's Horn for completing Jodario's trial. Let's see what it does. Rank 5 Legendary Talisman, Jodario casts her aura farther and faster than usual. Okay, so it makes her more offensively oriented. Farther and faster. By 15%. Okay. I don't know, it's not jumping off the page at me. But let's sift through the ashes. He was there! He was here! You mean Sandalwood? If I may ask, how can you be so certain? I think from this. It said something. I don't know what it says, but I feel like it has to mean something. Fate produces a small strip of bark she found in the ashes. At first it seems like nothing of interest, until you see a message carved onto the inside. You found a bark strip. It must mean something. Well, it's tradable, but that may be it. Sturdy strip of bark. On it is written, "Come to Cinderroot, S." Presumably, that is for Sandalwood. So, it's, some kind of message from the Sandalwood guy? Seems that way. Which way is Cinderroot? It is due west. Perhaps we can set forth early tomorrow, when the woods are still. Sounds good. Everyone, rest up. Big day coming up. Alright, time for some vocations. So we can study in private and give everyone a boost. We can deliberately target one person, or we can try to pick up some valuables. I think let's try to mentor a specific companion. I'm not necessarily sure who we're gonna pick this time. We picked Hedwyn last time, and I believe this will give them 1,000 points. So, like on this occasion, it would get Hedwyn just short of leveling up here. Rodariel is not that close. I mean, I'd like to do it with to improve Ruki. Tay also would receive a level. So with Tizo, I mean, Sir Gilman is a fair bit behind, as is Pamitha, given that they were late additions, so I think we ought to do one of them. And I was really impressed with the way Pamitha plays with her ability to fly. Fine, then. Let us chat together for a spell. So I think we should give her a shot. And then maybe Gilman after that. We'll see. You sit down with Pamitha to go over some of the subtler aspects of the rites, such as the state of banishment, and how to return from it. You sense she is beginning to understand. Yeah, so it gives 1,000. My guess is that happens every time. It doesn't vary. Well, Tamitha, soon I'll be catching up with you at this, whether you like it or not. Okay, so this is our first shot at seeing what she has to offer for skills. While flying, Pamitha moves faster than usual. I like that a lot. Also along this side, we have Pamitha can use her dash ability in rapid succession, and for less stamina, also sounds amazing. After saluting her adversaries, I still haven't done that once, I don't think. Pamitha instantly switches places with her nearest ally. Ooh. That sounds like it has some interesting synergistic possibilities there. Where you can swap around, having a quick character and a slow character, and using it to get characters somewhere else more easily that might otherwise be very tough to advance or retreat with. Pamitha permanently gains +8 quickness, making her move much faster. Also, love it. This is like all right down my alley. So I love this stuff, but let's see what we have over here. 5 seconds after banishing an adversary, Pamitha moves 30% faster than usual. So 30% faster, I would have to think, is significantly more than that. I mean, it doesn't say how much faster here, but my guess is 30% is quite a big boost. While casting her aura, Pamitha can trigger an aura burst that banishes nearby adversaries. I'm not totally understanding how this differs from the usual attack. This is a bit of a mystery to me. I don't know if this is just meant to be 2 attacks in quick succession. That's the primary thing going for it. If Pamitha is banished while Winged Fury's effect is active, what is Winged Fury? This one? So if she's banished soon after taking someone out, she returns twice as quickly. Okay, useful. Pamitha permanently gains +4 to quickness, presence, hope, making her better all around, as opposed to being specifically upgraded on quickness. So, I love all of the ones here. I mean, even this, even though I don't use it very often, I think this would be a great reason to use the salute. But one thing that was coming to mind was with that talisman that we just used on Jodariel that gives temporary infinite stamina. That seems like that could be, and what is it, like after you banish an opponent? And so what I'm thinking of is with this one, I'm seeing sort of a combination in play here where you use Pamitha to banish an enemy, then that thing spawns on the arena that gives her infinite stamina, and she's also getting a 30% movement speed bonus from this. And then you could even attack twice in quick succession with this. Maybe that's not so necessary at that point. But if along the way she gets banished, then, well, you know what? I think I see a lot of benefit out of this one, but not as much with these. So I think I do stick with this side. Then maybe we skip this and choose that. Or we could skip this and choose that. But I think this side, all around, is a little better. It is a strange sensation, to be sure, though it gives you a moment to reflect. Okay. I like it. Nothing new over there, so let's continue. And Cinderroot, that's where we were planning to go. Oh, I didn't read the description, but this is supposedly where Sandalwood is. Whether or not that's actually the case, we shall see. You arrive on the outskirts of Cinderroot. Once again, the informant Sandalwood is nowhere to be found. This looks awfully ambushy here. You sense the hopes of your companions waning as you search through the area. Yields nothing. Then, something startles the little imp Tizo. Tra! Tizo seems to be crying out in surprise. He has spotted something, or someone. Uh-oh. A tall figure strides forward from the trees, making a sound like laughter. The imp charges toward him, and leaps right into the figure's arms. They embrace. Hail, Tizo. But you look famished. Here. Wooded man. Is this our Sandalroot? The tall sap, tree-like creatures known for their ingenuity, cleverness, and ambition, having allied with them, the Commonwealth achieved in decades what it could not achieve in centuries. The tall sap produces something that the imp swallows immediately and with great pleasure. The lone minstrel nods his head in affirmation. Everyone, I wish to introduce you to my client, Wilfred Sandalwood. Wilfred Sandalwood. Okay, did I say Sandalroot before? Sandalwood, you know what I mean. He is the Lone Minstrel's client, Headwind's informant, and leader of the Nightwings. It has been too long, Wolfred, sir.
There are no temples.
Too long indeed, Tariq. I trust your new companions bring some color to your days. They do, sir. I think you shall find them worthy of the Nightwings. The sap looks upon the lot of you. Cannot sense his thoughts. We shall see. Then he turns to you. You must be the reader. I'm certain that we all appreciate your efforts here, my boy, though we shall manage on our own from here on out. You're welcome to continue with us, of course, though you are free to go. I trust you have been adequately compensated for your time. Thanks as well for looking after all my books. You consider what to say after all this. Wolfred intends to relieve you of your duties to the group. Insist on staying. You've been assured your freedom. You categorically refuse to be cast aside so easily. Bid everyone farewell. The leader of the Nightwings has returned. You can tell when you are no longer wanted, or remain silent. This cannot be happening. You've come this far, only to be brushed aside by some strange sap. I mean, we can't just let him take our spot, right? You stand your ground, meeting Wolfred's steady gaze, and assert to him that you do not feel your commitments to and from this group have been satisfied. Hold on. Wolfred, sir. I'm Hedwig. My companions and I are the ones who answered your call. We followed the signs you left for us. Now we're here, thanks to you, and also to this reader. Not just a reader. He is a friend. My friend. He's not disposable. We made him a promise, and our freedoms are now intertwined. Wolfred smirks at this. Freedom's not something to be traded or exchanged, my boy. I'd hoped that you would have come to grasp this much by now. He breathes a sigh. It seems we started off the wrong foot. It's not my wish to sour the occasion, but there's much to do. You have a right you need to get to. Not, I'll come along, though shall not interfere, for it seems you have a kinship with this reader of yours. Now then, Tariq? Aye. Wolfred, sir? Come, let's have a chat. Of course, sir. Wolfred strides toward the black wagon, which must have belonged to him. You sense many conflicting emotions among your companions. Wolfred Sandalwood joined you. He knows much of the rites. But joined us in what sense? Because, I mean, he was just talking about trying to replace us as presumably as the reader? I don't know if he's going to participate in the rites going forward. Seemed to suggest that he wasn't going to this time round, at least. Your wagon cuts through a clearing to arrive at the late glade of Lugh, where the stars directed you. Wolfred nods his approval, but leaves everyone to their devices. It's the next place for the rites, which the great sap scholar Lugh Sklorian here vanquished the root titan Limbless Arizech. Page revealed the demon. Let's read it and then we'll talk to it. I think we did the other way around last time. In the words of Gol Golothanian, Master General, Emperor Muir, scarcely could I recognize him, but at last I found him. A half-starved animal, horns sprouted from his head, bestial mirror of his blackened reputation. And I, a man who conquered countries, feared my emperor then in such a way I had never known. My charge had been to slay this man. When I discovered him, he was already fighting for his life. The little imp, Haul, proved of little help against the Sisters of the Arch, whose entire lives were culminating in this instant. I was unable to watch. My heart ached, such pity for the man, and for the love I felt for him when I had served him, that I sprang to his defense. Ooh. Protected the person he was supposed to take out. Interesting. Wolfred? Alright, buddy, we need to talk. As you approach Wolfred Sandalwood, you feel very much aware that you reside within his black wagon, rather than he in yours. He studies you in silence for a time. Then, Tariq, if you have a moment. Aye, Wilfred, what is it? This reader, you deem him worthy, is by your estimation? The lone minstrel tilts his hat in your direction. If you wish my own estimation, Wilfred, sir, then I do. Of course, it is not entirely for me to say, but I have seen this reader's integrating with the others well. I believe that his achievements are self-evident in having reached Black Basin. Your instructions were deliberately difficult to follow, yet he and the others followed them. Indeed, your words make sense, as ever, Tariq. And what does little Tizo think of him, I wonder? Spracky! Tizo indicates that, as a matter of fact, he is happy to have you around. Thanks, Tizo. There you have it, sir. I see. He continues to examine you. High praise isn't oft spoken by those two, my boy. Nonetheless, I shall be watching. Now, pardon us. Tariq and I have matters to discuss. You leave without another word, although you think you notice the lone minstrel look your way over his shoulder. Okay. Earning some brownie points, apparently. And let's take a look at the slug market, see if there's anything new that our friend here, Falcon Ron, has to offer. Oh, hey, you guys, I guess I didn't get the word out, but this new franchise which opened here just now, so you get a great deal, just tell your friends, okay? Oh, and hey, there's Mr. Sandalwood. Good day to you as well, Ron. Okay, so Dash of Stardust again, also available. And this one is new. Once per rite, if the bearer's pyre is extinguished, it is instead restored by... Oh! Interesting. So it's like a last shot. An extra life. That seems good. Rank 5 talisman, so maybe we could upgrade that to a rank 10 talisman, and ultimately it would give you up to plus 10. I mean, I'm not sure there's really a difference between having 5 points left and having 10 points left, because it seems like either way, one more hit is going to get you down. 79. Can we do anything interesting? I do really like that one. Can we afford both of these? Not quite. Darn. Ah, that stinks. I would have loved to have picked this up and this up, but this should continue to be earned. I'm going to keep on accumulating these, because they will add up. Of that, I am sure. And yeah, I think we just continue to hoard the rest of our stash. Appreciate you doing business, and you guys be sure to tell your friends, okay? Alright, let's commence the rite. You and your fellow exiles arrived at the sacred site called Glade of Lu, and now look to the stars in the sky to signal the beginning of the next rite. The woods above you bring a sense of tranquility you've not felt in some time. But then, you notice one of the trees move. It shuffles toward you and regards you with an exaggerated bow.
Well, goodness, by the roots of Lu's Glorian. It would appear the rumors are correct. Nightwings have returned. Oh, but where are my manners? One moment.
The sap claws at his mask with his wispy fingers. Okay.
Much better. H. Manly Tinderstop, at your service. Perhaps you've heard of me?
He is a sycophant who seems certain he will land a position of high standing once he is free.
My fellows and myself, you perhaps know us as the Chastity. We soon shall stand against you in the rights. For now, I am just whiling away at a time, making small talk. Now then, as I have introduced myself, your turns. To whom am I speaking?
Then, in your mind's eye, you see Volfred and hear his voice.
Manly Tinderstaff is not to be trusted. Reveal neither yourselves to him nor me. Well?
Beneath her mask, Jodariel stares back at him in silence. You suspect Volfred's message may have reached every member of the group.
Interesting.
So he can communicate psychopathically with everyone, apparently, and Jodariel is in on it?
Why now? How very rude indeed. Well, fine, ignore me, but you do so at your peril. Anyhow, once this evening's rite commences any moment now, and I'm afraid ignoring me won't be an option any longer. Oh, and now I do believe the sky is beginning to show. We'll have to chat again some other time. Now come along, come along.
Manly bows again and wanders off into a clearing as the stars begin to burn. Alright, let's see what we have in store here. I'm expecting some big, slow enemies here.
Once again, the stars align themselves before you, reader. And here now, at the Glade of Liu, I have to say, you've come so very far.
Halfway.
But there are those, such as your adversaries called the Chastity, who have toiled for this too. They know that with their freedom comes great opportunity. It could be yours instead. Please show the Chastity that the Nightwings are superior.
Oh. You're actually on our side for once, seemingly. I guess you have been kind of backhandedly giving us some compliments here and there.
I wonder, oh honored Nightwings, how well you know these woods. Why, these woods would strangle you, and I'm afraid I could do little to stop them, even if I tried. You might do better to be aware of them.
When Jodariel continues to ignore him, he grows upset.
Why, you insolent! Then fine, let us begin the dance indeed.
He shoves his mask back on in a huff.
And allow me to thank you in advance for helping me return unto my proper station in the Commonwealth.
Oh, okay. Actually, a bit of a mixture there. I'm a little surprised. I would have expected to see only those big, tall tree dudes. The Ents. So, I mean, I would think that given that, that would make our usual strategy of going with the quick little speedy guys a pretty solid strategy because they wouldn't be able to catch us. So that would lead me to believe using Jodariel would not be a great option because she is definitely our slowest character. Let's take a look at our inspiration. So definitely Rookie, and I would be inclined to use him. Other than that, we have Tizo has some inspiration. Who else? Sir Gilman does. A lot of people do. Sir Gilman, Tizo, and Rookie. How do we feel about that combination? That doesn't leave us with many big characters. I think we can give it a shot. The other person I would like to potentially work in would be Pamita, because I think she's very good. And I did see that they have a harp as well, so it might be nice to have someone capable of flying. Sir Gilman, we were thinking we'd go otherwise Sir Gilman and Tizo. think we definitely want to do Sir Gilman, because he has not very much on the Enlightenment, and that he was a late addition. Oh, I almost didn't notice. So we could give him additional quickness and make him lightning fast. Even faster than Rookie. Which is potentially of note. Yeah, let's do that.
Sir Gilman.
And then that leaves us with the question of, do we want to try to go with someone who's a little bigger and more straightforward? Yeah, like, I do really like Pamitha, and I think she gives us a much better shot at succeeding. I think we should use her. Question of banishment recovery versus getting a little more monies. I think let's play it safe for now. So I don't really know what to expect here.
It is done.
You can count on me, reader darling. Are you quite ready, finally, oh Nightwings? May all those masks of yours ensure no harm should come to any of your lovely countenances. Now come along, come along. Let's give the stars a show. Let's do it. What are you doing? May I present to you Humboldt Manley Jr. Why, he is every bit my equal, and is poised to guarantee the Tinderstaff line shall have a bright, bright future. Humboldt Manley Jr. Manley sapling, which not only has a name, but bears a similar posture and likeness to him. What? Manley Tinderstaff is... okay, same description there. What's happening here? Did he summon a fourth companion? He goes on and on about his sapling for a while, or did I just not notice before that one of those was also someone like him? Oh, another tree person! Alright, I've had more than my fill of listening to this bozo. This night, now as ever, is in full accord with you and this good Rookie. Now, isn't he just the most precious thing you've ever seen? Hmm? The sapling is nothing but an extension of Manley. If he is to be banished, the sapling should cease to trouble you as well. Ah, okay, so it's a little bit of what makes him special. Oh, I clicked off the screen.
Manley and his offspring.
There we go.
No small degree of influence within the Commonwealth, Breeder. There are many who would welcome his return. The Nightwings thus assert themselves.
Oh ho! What is this? It seems the woods themselves are closing in upon our little soiree.
I don't know how to pronounce that word. I've never heard it before. Yeah, one thing I was noticing was, in the grand scheme of things, you know, if you compare this arena to the ones that we've encountered before, this is just wide open, nothing crazy happening there, which seemed a little surprising, because it seemed like things were just getting more elaborate the further we went, and so if the arena gets smaller and smaller as time goes on, I could see that being a thing.
Oh, do be careful now. These grasping roots and vines, they may not hold you in such high esteem as I. Uh-oh.
Oh, that was quite silly of me.
Yet he longs now for the comfort of his Commonwealth estate. Perhaps such wealth ought to be reserved instead for you.
Oh, I ran straight into that. Too quick. Too quick for you.
Oh dear, the woods are closing in. Uncomfortably close at that. Whatever shall we do? Perhaps if you just stand aside a while, we could put an end to this and that much the sooner.
I'm just gonna get additionally crowded.
Now then.
Aha! Too quick for you. Alright, halfway through.
Say, have any of you noticed how it's feeling rather crowded out here? Almost as if the 100 Mines themselves resents you being here.
I cut some of that off, sorry.
So, cease with all of your scurrying about with that damned orb, and let me handle this.
So I think Pamitha, with her ability to fly, is about to become very relevant. Things continue to get more crowded.
You have it.
Don't mind if I do.
Flame has died a little.
She's so good. Makes it super easy to score.
Alright, you Nightwings, I've had it up to here with you. Or perhaps I've simply had it up to here with all the approaching plants and these miserable things. Either way, I don't appreciate how you're ignoring me.
Getting to be a very small arena here. No, you just barely got me. Okay, look out. Hold on. Gotcha. Uh-oh. Oh, that didn't work. I needed to jump, and I forgot to jump. I attacked, but I did not jump. Too quick. It's too quick.
Now go on just once more.
Oh, I meant to fly, but I sprinted. That was my bad. Oh no! I got pinned in the corner. Okay, uh-oh. I was gonna say, we are in for some trouble. Fly! Fly, you fools!
It is done.
Fly is so good. It is so good. You just zoom past everyone,
Glorious performance, I
especially in
must
an arena like that where it's getting crowded. No big deal.
thus end this night's proceedings.
I think we only got scored on once there. Very nearly a perfect performance. Yeah, that's how we do it, people. Don't think that was really what we were doing for Rookie's voice, but oh well. That ought to wipe the smug look off that sap's face.
Well, my. Oh, worry not, oh Nightwing. I'm not angry with you, honestly. But I am very, 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 very disappointed. I thought perhaps that we had had something going here between us. You scratch my back, I scratch yours and all. Instead, however, you decided to spit in my face. Fine. We'll have to see where all your rudeness gets you. Now, ta-ta.
Always is there greater knowledge to be gained.
Alright, awesome. So Rookie leveled up.
Not too old to learn new tricks.
Faster, stronger, and a little better looking too. I mean, is there anything I can't handle? Alright, let's see what Rookie has in store for us. So when sprinting, Rookie accelerates faster than usual to an even faster top speed. Gotta love that. After he is banished by an adversary, Rookie has a 50% chance to return in only 1 second. Also, really good if we're being super aggressive with him. Rookie can jump the second or third time while airborne. We haven't been jumping very much. That would make his jump very powerful. What is over here? Rookie deals an additional 5 damage when plunging into the adversary's pyre. Also really good. But I think we have to take the speed, because we've just been focusing so much on that with him. So to get additional speed would be fantastic.
Desperate for honor.
There we go.
Huzzah! Great wisdom clouds over this night's entire consciousness.
Alright, so we have yet to see any of his masteries, I think. So this is all new to us. If Gilman and all his allies are banished, he shall instantly return. That is quite useful when we are being super aggressive. Getting someone back like that. Once per round, when saluting his adversaries, Sir Gilman freezes all exiles for 3 seconds. So that would presumably mean us and our enemies. Again, I really don't salute, like, ever. But that is potentially an intriguing option. Trying to think of what the primary use for it would be. Presumably, if you're trying to stall. Very similarly to this one, where if you're really outnumbered, you can use this to get some of your allies to come back from being banished. While Sir Gilman's allies are banished, he moves faster than usual and temporarily has infinite stamina. Yeah, it seems like he's just meant to be the underdog, which is pretty cool. For 10 seconds after banishing an adversary, Sir Gilman deals an additional 10 damage to the adversary's Pyre. Interesting. So he takes someone out, and then if you can score soon afterward, then he deals a lot more damage. Because that's one of the downsides of playing with him, is much like Ruki, he's super speedy, but when he does score, it's not for very much, but that is a huge bonus. That's adding 2/3 of damage to him. So I like this. It has a nice theme to it. But what's this side all about? After Sir Gilman banishes an adversary, one of his banished allies shall instantly return. Similar idea. After using his slash, Sir Gilman can use it again to instantly return to his previous position. So he can slash back and forth. That sounds pretty good too. Sir Gilman's slash banishes adversaries in a wider area of effect. Okay, pretty straightforward, but sure. After using his slash, Sir Gilman instantly recovers all his stamina. That seems like that would go really well with this. But unfortunately, we're not going to have the ability to go all the way down to take this and go all the way down to take that in one playthrough. There's just not enough ability to level up. So do we prefer... I still see these as being the most characteristic skill points here. Despite them being the first of the options, usually it's the last one that's most unique. Do we want Sir Gilman to come back if all of our allies are gone? Or do we want Sir Gilman to bring people back when he banishes people? Because this is kind of like, if you mess up big time, then he can come back as your saving grace. Whereas on this occasion, it's a little more proactive than that, in that you can avoid getting in that situation to begin with if you take an enemy out with Sir Gilman and you get one of your allies back in that way. But it does mean that if he dies in the process and there's no one left, or if he gets banished, he doesn't die, but if he gets banished in the process, then you're not in great shape, because then you're left with no one. So I like both of them. Let's take this. We might come back for that. Oh, so close. So close.
Until the stars align.
That was well done, my boy. I'm beginning to see why your companions vouched for you. Don't let it go to your head, of course.
During the rites, press space to pass the orb when in danger. You should regain your defensive aura almost immediately. Admittedly, I've not been doing that very much. After thwarting the chastity in a rather one-sided contest, it was rather one-sided, you return to your wagon to consider your next move. I do wonder how much it actually ties in the score of the previous rite into how it describes that encounter. Because on one or two previous occasions, it seemed to understand when things were close and things were not so close.
An adequate performance back there.
Adequate?
Yes, adequate. For the next part of our plan.
Go. Have your reader there consult the stars. See where they take you next. I'll give you a hint. It's further north. It's going to be high up. Did the knight hear you say high up?
And it's going to be cold.
We'll see. Come on, my friend. Let's have a look outside then. That plan Wolfred mentioned, I just want you to know, I don't know what he means. We're here because we're going to be free again. We won't be living out our days as exiles. That's the only plan, as far as I'm concerned. But there's always a catch, right? We'll see what Wolfred has to say. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. No matter what, we're getting closer, thanks to you. Once more, you look toward the heavens, and let's check out our destination. That's where we were. Let's head further north. Solium, the golden star. I mean, this looks, am I right in thinking, more notable than other stars that we've seen? The golden star shines bright over the highest mountain in all the downside. Interact to determine the location of the next rite. I don't know. This is looking an awful lot like it might be the final encounter. That also seemed to show the Book of Rites. I don't know.
So now you see it for yourself. You are summoned to the north, where looms Mount Alaudio, and at the very top, Ball of Solium.
Mount Alaudio, the sacred mountain on whose summit the rites were first conceived. Whether its summit is the downside's closest point to the Commonwealth or the farthest, none can say. And the fall of Solium? According to the stars, the next rite shall soon commence here. The temple at the highest point in the downside exists to honor the 8 scribes. This is sounding an awful lot like the final encounter, the final rite. We'll have to see. To confirm, the stars indicated this exactly. Wolfred, sir, how did you know? Wolfred smiles back at him, but you sense his thoughts, as though he is directing them at you.
I too can read, my boy.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Forbidden though the words may be.
He turns back to Hedwig.
Your reader's skills, while rare, are not unique. But, as I said, I'll let him do the job.
I see that you have something special going here, which benefits the plan. The plan? I thought this was about our freedom.
Oh, fear not, my boy. It is indeed. Plenty of time to tell you all about it on the way. For now, however, you look like you can use some rest. And for that matter, so can I. You'll excuse me.
You sense your companions are exhausted from their recent travels. Given the road ahead, you agree it would be best to take the night to recover as much as possible. Alright, and with that, this looks like a good place to wrap things up for now. I mean, we met our Sandalwood guy, who, is apparently the only other person who can read that we have met, and, that was an interesting way of kind of letting us know about that, so I like it. And it looks like maybe we're headed to the final encounter after this? I'm not sure, but it seems like it's certainly going to be a very significant one at the very least. So with that, I will, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.